Okay, so as usual, we're doing something a little awkward on the Big Focus. We're supposed to walk down from there, but the sun's going down. It's all right, man. You want to go in? Please go ahead. You can join. Yeah, we've heard.
My first time at Olamaie, but I've heard good things about the biscuits. And, can you show us your shirt? Texas law.
Yeah. Yeah, and instead of doing the whole walk-in intro, we just decided we'll talk here.
Well, Michael Fojtasek is, besides being a great chef and a great human being, is a good friend. He was kind enough to let us in and show us how he does all his wonderful things. And he tends to get categorized as an excellent biscuit maker, but all the food here is amazing. I would have to mention that I do a queso event called Case Off, and the reigning champion is right here.
Please feel free to go through. No worries.
What Franklin Barbecue has done for brisket, I feel Olamaie has done for biscuit.
There's a rhyme in there.
There's a rhyme in there. In India, biscuits are completely different. So when I first moved here, I was like, this is like a bread roll, you know, whatever. But over the years, I've come to love and appreciate biscuits because they're delicious, and no one does it better than right here.
Biscuits in the US are completely different. Is the origin English? It came from the English or from Africa?
So American biscuits originated in the American South.
Okay.
And the biscuit as we know it today didn't come around until after World War II.
Okay.
Because of leaveners. Biscuits have been made in Southern cuisine for a couple hundred years, but the way that they are considered to be light and fluffy didn't really come around until more modern.
Is it a short pastry or the way it flakes up? It's got this croissant game, but without the super flaky bits, right? It's got different layers.
Yeah, so we play a little bit of a game. Like,
Okay.
So a croissant is made in a laminated dough. We kind of ride that line between a shortbread and a lamination. So we bring it together just enough to get it to feel light and fluffy, but we fold it over enough times so that you get nice buttered layers.
Tell us about the name Olamaie and where that stems from.
So Olamaie is a southern food restaurant here in Austin, Texas. We've been around since 2014. Olamaie is my mother's name, my grandmother's name, my great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother's name, and my daughter's name. I cook southern food because my mother and my grandmother are from Tennessee, a small town called Jackson. It's just east of Memphis. And I grew up going there as a kid. And so over time, in my professional career, I found myself more and more going back to the food that my mother and my grandmother used to eat together.
Okay.
I can smell it right now.
Yeah.
And it smells good. Yeah. Well, something smells so amazing that we should probably go in and start trying.
Let's do this. I'm ready.
Come on, y'all.
It's me and my cousin, Shanky. So he's in India, he couldn't come. And then Adi knows everybody in Austin. I'm like, he's an honorary Big Forker. I mean, he's not a big dude, he's a fit dude.
Depends on the day, but
Yeah.
But yeah, knows everybody.
well, I know some of the right people and some of the best people that do food in Austin, thankfully, because of my job. Getting back to the menu, like when you do change things up, like what's the inspiration for the new dishes? Is it mostly you, or do you like work together with people in the kitchen to kind of come up with new menu items? Like, how does that work?
I've always run a kitchen that's pretty open to suggestion, but driven by leadership.
What about your hair? Has your long hair affected any of the menu items?
You know what? I've been told recently that I'm like cooler than I've ever been told I was.
I lost that opportunity a long time ago.
You want me to just go ahead and order it for us?
Yes, please.
Awesome. Cabbage, shrimp, crudo tartare, butterbean belly.
Did I hear biscuits?
And let's do 4 biscuits, please. 4 biscuits to start.
I'll have to say that food is turning into a pretty big mainstay of Austin, and I'm not just saying that because this is a food show and we're here. When you combine that with music and food, right there you have like the basis for culture. It's not surprising that, you know, Austin is continuously in the lists of like where everyone wants to move to and, you know, experience, because there's a lot of good things always happening here. Happiness right here. Black metal and 4 biscuits. That's happiness.
That should be a badge name. I'm manipulating my taste buds with this butter. Oh my God, how good is that, man? It's sweet. Are you aging the butter or?
No, it's just a honey butter. It's honey and butter.
Oh my God.
I wasn't lying, was I?
In Poland, in Russia, it's a part of almost every drinking menu. So you drink vodka and eat tartar. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know that.
Every household makes it for Christmas. Oh man, that egg yolk it ties it all together.
Yep.
Because the acidic notes are there. In a lot of places you use gherkin, or gherkin is sort of the offset.
Yep.
But that egg yolk just envelops. I'm gonna go as far as to say this is like a post-coital hug. It's a spoon and the end of a lot of action.
I love it. So everything we do here is from here. So this dish in particular, product-wise, this dish in particular, in the summer, it's not cabbage, it's eggplant. So we change, and the chow chow, so the chow chow that's on tonight is cabbage, and then as we get into the summer, it will be pepper.
Like where you source some of your stuff from?
So everything that we serve in this restaurant is sourced from Texas.
Oh wow, so full locally sourced.
With the exception of some dry goods, like this rice in particular is from South Carolina. Yeah. Well, it's milled in South Carolina, but it's grown in Texas.
But it's a very heritage grain.
It is. There's some qualifiers to that statement. You know, we use a cane syrup that's from southern Louisiana that I really love. But as far as produce and proteins and stuff like that, everything's from Texas.
Hey, is your water here hard water or soft water? In Houston, it's all hard water, and it's like cooking is just, it kills everything there.
Our water here is really hit or miss. It depends on if it's rained or not. Our water system, when there's been quite a bit of rain, it picks up like a sulfuric odor.
See, every time I try to make rice in Houston, and if I forget where I get my water from, it's like miles apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like Indian rice, if you're eating basmati, right? Or a Tex-mati for that, it's so sensitive to water. A little bit of hard water, it crystallizes way too much, and then it's unnecessarily al dente, and you don't want basmati to be. It's not fucking arborio that you want al dente.
You know, I've always heard stories about the Japanese when they come to the U.S. to cook, they bring water with them.
Yeah, or they use it changes. New York does well for them for some reason. They're fine. Because even their tap water, could you imagine nobody drinks tap water in New York? But that water is actually really good. Their natural aquifer. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and eat. This is so good. So, a quick question. You went down the stagiaire, right? Or like you went through culinary school and then, or?
Yeah. So I started my career here in 2006 and worked at a restaurant here in town called Fino. Moved to Dallas, worked in Dallas for a little bit, and then went to Culinary Institute of America in Napa Valley. And then from there, I moved to LA and I worked for John and Vinny of Animal and Son of a Gun.
Yeah.
And then I left Son of a Gun and came here and opened this.
We just got the food, but chef's got to pop in there, and we're not kicking him out just because we're done eating. He's got to pop. It's a Friday night. He's got business to run. He's got a full table. He's got people waiting outside. But thank you so much, man. I know we're still gonna go through these 3 dishes, but thank you so much.
I've already said enough about you, but you're a great human being, and I do mean every love you text that I send you. So every kissy face emoji I send you, I mean it. Thank you for your time tonight, most importantly.
Thank you. No, I would love to stay and chat, but we're gonna get into it. It should get pretty serious here in about an hour. So.
Yeah, I see people standing out there, and I feel bad. We're gonna get out of your hair pretty quickly.
You're good. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of this. And
Everything's been delicious, and I can't wait to get into the rest of this. And do we want to go over what's this? What this is?
I'll run
Yeah.
This is a beef belly. It's cooked for 18 hours. It's smoked, and then it's cooked for 18 hours.
A beef belly, not a pork.
Leche de tigre.
Yeah.
But we've done it with a little bit of crystal hot sauce.
Leche de tigre. This is so absolutely brilliant. It has a lot of South American influence. Mexico has it, but it's very Peruvian style dish. If you've ever had a tiradito, not a ceviche is different. A tiradito has this creamy sauce to it, and that's what that is similar to. But I like the way that because the fish, they put some dill, which brings in a little bit more continental and almost European sort of aftertaste. Just absolutely brilliant.
Love everything he said, but that beef cheek, I'm not gonna say it's like beating anything that's Franklin's done, but it's right up there with a lot of stuff we ate at Franklin. That beef cheek is good, and we're saving you guys some.
And we're saving you the most of the vegan food. But all right, I'm gonna have an entire spoon of butterbean. That evokes the South. You'll see in some parts of the world, like especially wherever, unfortunately, the slave trade touched, you will see certain influences. So the originations are somewhat from Africa, and then Gullah cuisine has it. Now, if you go to Portugal, you're gonna have a feijoada, which is also beans, stewed beans. Gumbo has that. All of these dishes have this, what's that other one? The kidney beans or the red beans, black-eyed peas. They all have this influence. We are gonna be mindful that the chef sat with us for so long, and we're gonna get out of here. Can you show me the camera 1 second? We've got the boys here, Adi's back in here. Boys, and you can go back there, and I can get you. These guys have been patient, and everybody else is waiting in line. All right, that's the biggest selfie I've ever done in myself. All right, thank you guys. TBF and Adi out. Southern food stretches all the way from Texas straight down to Georgia. And Chef Michael from Olamaie is one of the big names in reviving the grandeur of Southern cuisine.
Can you explain biscuit to a lot of our viewers and
Okay.
me? I think
The
parle-
American biscuit from that context is closest to an English muffin. No, it's not the muffin mitawala. It is close to an English muffin, which is a savory bread which is cooked on the first on a stovetop. It's very simple, it's flaky, it's very buttery. And you eat it with either gravy or you eat it with fried chicken or
It's
you eat
already
it with
butter.
eggs.
It's made with butter.
It's very buttery. It's like a shortbread, but it is extremely savory. Again, this is the heart of Americana, right? And a lot of people, I have this issue when a lot of people don't understand American cuisine and they think it's hamburgers. But every part of the US has a deep-rooted cuisine, just like you have in India, just like you have in China. Of course, there are a lot of things that influence it. It's got its own little influences, it's got its own trajectory of popularity, and right now it's at its peak. And it's also getting slightly more fancified. So then you're getting
I saw you guys all dressed up and all very in a rather fine dine sort of a setting with this one.
I mean, it's booked out months in advance. And of course, this is very deeply North Texas style. Write down in the comments what you think is Southern food. I'll give you 1 or 2 clues so that you don't use that.
Not
Fried
dosa,
chicken.
not idli.
Not dosa, not idli, not Nashville style chicken. Nashville chicken again. But find a few things and write it in the comments. Have some deep American Southern food with American pride. Yeah! Does that work? Is that the right plugin?
I hope so. Like, share, subscribe. Alright, bye, cut. बस हो गया इतना पैसा में इतना ही मिलेगा.
Bye bye. Thank you very much.